Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Tifa's Tarot, and I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. And this is our second installment of our series on rising or ascendant signs. So, in this particular episode, we are going to be exploring the characteristics of a Taurus rising. Check out the video link below for more information about what your ascendant represents in astrology. And this is basically a sign that you can find on your birth chart. So, I've also linked below a very useful website which you can calculate your own ascendant and through your birth chart if you don't already know. But chances are, if you're watching this video, you probably are a Taurus rising or know someone who is a Taurus rising. But when we're talking about a rising or an ascendant, what that really just means, it's the sign on the most eastern horizon that correlates to your exact time of birth. This sign, we have to keep in mind, is not our sun sign. Just think about how your sun sign really represents your ego or your personal essence, so to speak. But your ascendant shows the external self, right? That is what you show to the outside world. In a sense, I like to think of it as an unconscious external mask that we wear when we meet people. It's part of our big three in astrology, along with our sun sign and our moon sign. And it's honestly comprises of a big part of who we are as people. It's a very critical part of your astrological profile. So it's really important to getting to know yourself and how you appear to other people. It's that nuance that shows why no two people of the same sun sign are exactly alike. So let's go ahead and dive into the characteristics of a Taurus rising. So, first of all, Taurus is the element is earth, right? So, earth signs are very practical, very grounded, stable, right? Much like Virgo and Capricorn, right? The earth signs also deal with the tangible real. So, this is our value, our resources, our jobs, our money, right? All of those things are comprised in the earth element. Its modality is fixed. Okay, so fixed signs, along with so it's Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius are all fixed signs. And what that means is just that they're set. Their mode is resilient. It's grounding. It's very persistent. It's very determined, right? Not very easy to change, so to speak. Okay. Ruling sign is Venus. Okay. And Venus is our planet of aesthetic, of beauty, of love, money, value, all of those good, positive things in our tangible world, right? Also rules relationships as well. And the symbol for Taurus risings is the bull, right? And as we know, the bull is a very strong but stubborn creature that often stands its ground. So let's take a look at the personality of a Taurus rising. So a person that's a Taurus rising, they could be very reliable, very dependable, but there's something very cautious about them. Okay, they are very careful, and because they are very fixed in nature, they're not really known for being very flexible. As a matter of fact, sometimes they could be like a little bit single, uh, like one track minded, having tunnel vision. Right, it's kind of what they're known for. Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, and Venus rules over the things in our lives, right? So a Taurus rising is going to be very hardworking as well. They have a very strong work ethic, and so you'll see like money is going to be very important to a Taurus rising, or that stability is going to be really important for them. So most Taurus risings really prefer like the good things in life, right? And so it's just one of those things with their personality where they are fixed and they want to be comfortable as well, okay? But let us transition into the light and the dark side, right? So each sign is going to have its light and its dark sign, right? And so when we talk about the positive side of Taurus rising, you're getting somebody who is dependable and reliable. They're very grounded and steady. Okay, they appear also to be that. They're very calm. They really act as almost like an anchor for other people. Another thing about them is that they are really sensible and practical. You'll notice a Taurus rising is very adept at being very money smart, so to speak, okay? Um, they are also very loyal and protective. They love to build strong foundations because they are fixed. So they are really dedicated to people and also dedicated to things that they value. Like once they establish a routine, that's just what it is, okay? Another positive sign about them is that they're very calm, very poised. Once that bull energy gets out, like you don't really want to fight with a Taurus, but it does really take quite a lot for them to pull them into that negative energy, right? And so they are very calm. And another thing about a Taurus, because they are ruled by Venus, you're going to find the sign is going to want to have an environment that's very harmonious. And so they like nice things. So they might have a very clean house. Or like great decor, right, so to speak. And another thing about them is that they're quite trustworthy. Okay, a Taurus rising is known for being kind of honest in that sense. So they're people that you can kind of count on when it comes down to it. I would think they make very, very good employees as they love to work. They like that money. So Taurus is going to go to work, right? A Taurus rising is very ambitious and they love their jobs and they love to go to work. However, let's look at some of the negative traits, okay? Because everything is a dynamic here, right? It's the positive and the negative. And the dark side of Taurus is they can be very stubborn, extremely inflexible. And this is partially because we have that fixed nature. Now, think about fixed nature with that element of earth, right? It's not changing, it's inflexible, it wants to stand its ground, okay? Um, Another thing about them is they can be a bit on the overindulgent side. Okay. They love the nice things in life. So a Taurus could be, I know the stereotype is that Taurus loves food, okay? They kind of have to be careful with that greed, right? Because that could be part of it. And because they do like money, materialism could be an issue in that as well. Another kind of negative thing is this really being possessive. I feel like a Taurus rising really likes to kind of put their hoof, so to speak, on what they want, right? So whether it's a friend, whether it's a relationship partner, whether it's a job or an idea, they're going to be very possessive about that. And the last one I wanted to mention is that because of this inflexible nature and being so stubborn, it's very often that you'll find Taurus risings to be having tunnel vision, right? It's not easy for them to see other perspectives. And so they have to try a little bit harder to really be able to understand where people are coming from. There's that phrase of you never know what someone's going through till you walk a mile in their shoes. Taurus rising is not trying to walk in your shoes. That's uncomfortable. They have their own shoes. They're better than yours. So they just don't really see it like that. All right, now let's go ahead and check out the physical appearance of a Taurus rising. And so when you talk about a Taurus rising, they are not only do they have this demeanor of being very calm, very collected, because they are that earth energy and they're very grounded in their energy as well. And physically, what you can kind of see, I've got four famous Taurus risings as an example. But what you'll find is the face is typically rounded, right? The men especially might have a more chiseled jawline, or very like prominent jaw in some way. The eyes are very soft, very alluring. There's something about brown eyes here, like very deep setted brown eyes as well. Very like beautiful, full lips, a very nice, inviting smile. And another thing is like, let's talk about their body. Um, they tend to, let's say for the men, they tend to have very broad shoulders. They tend to I would say like, yeah, broad shoulders, a thick neck. It's almost like this bull-like appearance as well. They might carry some weight around that abdominal area, and that could be, the tendency of Taurus risings is they're foodies, right? So that could be an accumulation of that. And what you'll find with the women, that Venusian quality where they're just, even if they are larger women, they're very voluptuous, right? They have a certain energy to them that's just very like dynamic, very strong. Taurus risings also tend to have very strong legs or something very like powerful about their legs as well. And when it comes to their style, they're really attracted to more earthy tones. They like more of a classic look. They like timeless pieces. So you'll see them spending money on very nice items that they kind of keep for some time as well. Like that's what you'll kind of find with the Taurus rising. And they just, because they look so good, they also value comfort. Taurus rising is not here. Yeah, they want to be cute, they want to look well, but practicality and comfort is one of the first things that they consider when they are styling themselves as well. So they do opt to have more comfortable designs, but also have things that are simple, something with a flair of elegance, right? And so some famous Taurus rising, we have Queen Latifah, right? She's a Taurus rising, Star Wars director and writer, I believe, George Lucas. Robert Pattinson from I don't know, Twilight, I think he was in, and Gigi Hadid, right? She's a famous model, and even though she's a model, she's quite slim. You can kind of see the voluptuousness of it, right? She's very, you can see the face, the beautiful chin, jawline. Her and Queen Latifah both kind of have that very soft, alluring eyes as well. And one other thing I forgot to mention about a Taurus rising is that hair. A Taurus rising, they have that very like just edges for days, very thick, luscious hair, right? So they tend to carry those qualities. All right, let's take a look at Taurus risings in love, all right, and the type of relationships they like to have. What you'll kind of find is they're very thoughtful partners, and they have a very practical approach to love. They prefer a relationship that's very traditional, that's conventional in some way. You're not going to find a Taurus rising like doing unconventional things like polyamory or polygamy. Like those things don't really they don't really hit a Taurus rising. That's not something they really like, okay? They also like to be in a comfort zone as well. So they want to have a partner, kind of like stick with that partner so that they can it's not easy for them to open up to new people. And so once they develop a comfort zone with their partner, they really just want to kind of stick to that. We have to remember that Taurus rising is ruled by that Venusian quality as well. So they're extremely sensuous lovers as well. They love to express themselves. They might even experiment, in the bedroom and just have like a good time. Like they want those senses. They're very sensory people, so they love for those senses to be tantalizing, so to speak. Okay. If we're talking about a love language for Taurus rising, now these people love to receive and to give. That is what they do. They love receiving gifts. They love giving gifts, right? They're going to be very generous with their partner in terms of that, and they will expect the same in return. And another thing about them is remember that Venusian quality, so they are very sensuous. But on top of being sensuous, though, they enjoy physical touch, right? So that physical affection is going to be very important for a Taurus rising. They want to lay with you, they want to cuddle, they want to hold hands, right? They're very sweet on people like that. That's kind of how they are in love. And I would say their compatibility, in my opinion, I think like other signs that are Earth, they do quite well. There's a mutual understanding of each other. So your Virgo, Capricorn, I think make really really great partners. And I want to just give a shout out, honestly. Like I feel like a Taurus rising and a partner with a lot of Cancer specifically, a lot of Cancer placements have a very good loving relationship, right? Because Cancer loves to nurture, they love to give gifts as well. So it really aligns honestly with that approach for Taurus risings. I think a Cancer and a Taurus is a perfect pair in my opinion. Um, but also I think they kind of vibe well with Pisces, and they vibe well also with Scorpios as well. But I think a very gold star asterisk mark goes for a Taurus and Cancer pairing. And as friends, if you're talking about a Taurus rising as a friend, they're just that reliable friend. They're the responsible one in the group. If you guys are going out drinking, your Taurus rising friend is going to be the designated driver for that evening. Okay, so they're going to make sure like before you're leaving a place, and everyone's been drinking, they're gonna like ask, do you have your keys? Do you have your phone? Right? They're making sure they're checking up on their friends. And they don't mind being in that position to be that responsible friend as well. And because they are fixed, they are extremely loyal friends, right? A Taurus rising can sustain friendships for many, many years. It's not unusual to have a Taurus rising friend that you've just had since you've known them, right? Since childhood. They really, really like to show up for friends. And they're very, very good at sustaining friendships for a very long time. And I also think that a Taurus rising is a friend that you can experience things with, right? You want to book a night to do like a paint and sip. Your Taurus, they want to share that experience with you. They're very open to trying things, especially if it has to do with food, all right, or shopping, anything in those realms. Anything that is a little bit indulgent in nature, like going to the spa or really just like a marathon watching like movies or a series or something, right? But they just love the experience of things, okay? So they're the friends where, yeah, they love a bit of routine, but they're also the friend if you want to try something new. A Taurus rising is down for it, right? Kudos if it's a restaurant, okay? There's a new restaurant, bet at Taurus rising is gonna want it. All right, now let's take a look at some possible good career paths for Taurus rising and this is just all of my opinion, but a Taurus rising I think are their attention to detail and just being in so grounded I think makes them really good for roles in the arts and entertainment. Okay, so those are maybe interior design, graphic design, all of those things are really, really good. Anything that has to do with decor, fabulous, right? That's all them. Anything that with that art, right? Art curator, Taurus rising, they love these things. They are ruled by Venus, so they're all about the aesthetics, right? Or things that show that are beauty related. They can also make very good actors, models, anything with makeup like cosmetology, hairstylist. They're very good with that. Maybe photography, even fashion, because they are very practical when it comes to their fashion choices. And they love that comfort. So they would be very good in those industries. Also, Taurus rising is known for being very like money smart. They have a lot of good money IQ, I would call it. And that makes them very good for careers in finance. Okay, so banking or accounting, and even real estate, I think is a great one for Taurus as well. Anything doing mortgages, right, or linking banking with real estate, I think is also a very good, probable career choice for Taurus rising. Also like retail, because they have like a fine eye for shopping. They could be very good in retail, especially when it comes to luxury goods. Like they have that eye for quality, right? So luxury goods are very it's a very good product for them to work with, I would say. And also hospitality, right? So being in concierge or a chef, a sous chef, a baker, right? These are all great things for Taurus. Also just working at a spa, that relaxation, massage therapy, and anything that has to do with like health or wellness, right? And even being a host or hostess, right? Those are all really good things for Taurus. Also, I think that I know quite a few Taurus risings that are in education, not just Taurus rising, but just Taurus sun signs as well that I've noticed that are in education. You can find they're really great because they're so methodical. So they would be very good at writing and publishing and researching, so to speak, being a data analyst, and also like teaching or being a professor. Those are all really, really good job choices for a Taurus rising. And finally, because they are connected to the earth, Agriculture is a perfect fit for a Taurus rising. They could be into gardening or farming, animal husbandry as well, or anything in that agribusiness, right? With making or producing food products, so to speak. So, in my opinion, those are some pretty good, solid career choices or industries for a Taurus rising. All right, and finally, if you are a Taurus rising or you know someone that's very near and dear and close to you that is a Taurus rising, these are some tips I think to becoming just the best version of yourself. So keeping in mind that every sign is going to have a light and a dark side, and we're really on this planet to make sure that we stay in balance, right, so to speak. So I think a great thing for Taurus rising, it would be, in my opinion, detaching. Okay, detachment is really important here. Okay, because Taurus risings are fixed, they could have this innate ability to honestly be a bit attached to some of the things in life, like needing to have the biggest house or needing to have the most fancy car, right? To the point where it could kind of stress them out, right? So there's this constant climbing of more and more things, being careful to not be too materialistic, right? So releasing some dependence on things, okay, and grounding yourself so that you could be a little bit more spiritual and grounded in that way, and not putting so much emphasis on things. Also flexibility. We did earlier mention that a Taurus rising could be very prone to tunnel vision, right? Not being so inflexible. And I think it's a great idea for them to understand that about themselves and to just leave a little bit of room for things that you cannot change, right? That it's okay to be a little bit flexible on some things, and trying to really practice that and making sure that things don't always have to go your way, Taurus rising, okay? Another thing is being mindful, because Taurus rising is ruled by Venus, and so they do have the tendency to be a little self indulgent at times, right? So making sure that they're mindful about any hedonistic habits that they may have, okay? And not doing things in excess, right? So slow down on the eating, slow down on the shopping, slow down on the materialism. Like a lot of those things, like you can slow down on Taurus, and it's okay to have a little bit of restraint and discipline in those regards. And then also another one that goes without saying that kind of goes along with this flexibility portion. And that is that perception. You gotta stay open to other people's perspective, okay? You don't have to agree, but it is important, just as a life lesson, to be open to that. And you never know how that could broaden your horizons when you do try to see the perspective of other people. So I think some good stones that a Taurus rising could use. Blue sodalite. Blue sodalite is excellent for communication and activates that, I believe, the throat chakra. And it's just something to kind of get you to be more open, right, in terms of your communication. Rose quartz, this is for your heart chakra, right? So that you can open up to new perspectives, new ideas as well. And tiger's eye, okay? Tiger's eye is great. Tiger's eye, I believe, is more for, let me just see right quick. Excuse me. Tiger's eye is, I think, a great healing. It fortifies your blood. It relieves pain. It calms your nerves. These things are all very important, I believe, for a Taurus rising. All of those stones, I think, are very reasonable for a Taurus rising. So that concludes the second edition of this Ascendant series, and that was all about a Taurus rising. So let me know, how did I do? Do you know anyone that's a Taurus rising? Are you a Taurus rising? And did any of this information resonate with you? Go ahead, leave me a comment, a like, a suggestion. Any of those things is greatly appreciated, just to have a little bit more collaboration in the community. I love you guys, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.